What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. So before we get into the topic, which is going to be a fun one, I do want to let you guys know I had a little bit of an announcement. I wanted to make an announcement that I will be restarting my second channel, which will be the first link down in the description. I'm going to be restarting it. The name of the channel is John Glod, and what we're going to be doing over there is we're going to be doing vlogs that are going to chronicle my triathlon training. We're going to be doing like different shoe reviews, just stuff like that. So it's going to be basically a vlog channel that I will have, and I'm just really excited because I do want to chronicle this triathlon. But I just want to put it on that second channel. Honestly, for me, it feels a lot less stressful because there's a lot less subscribers over there. So I can just be a little bit more chill with the videos and just kind of have a little bit more fun with it and not have so much stress about making sure it's like the perfect vlog to put up on this channel. So if you do want to check that out, if you do like the vlogs, which I know a lot of you guys do, if you do like that content, it will be over there on that channel, so you guys can click over there and subscribe if that's something that you want to do. I would really appreciate it. But with that said, let's get into the video. Guys, gals, non-binary pals, have we got a post for you? So today what we're going to be talking about, this was sent in to my Discord a number of times. So this is actually a post that was really popular on Reddit for a while. It's still like really popular, but it's a very interesting... oops, I forgot to turn off my alerts. But so this post was really popular, but it's a pretty intense one. So this is the post right here. It says, the title of it is "Obese People Infuriate Me." Okay. Okay, so it says here, yes, you read that title correctly. Obese people infuriate me. I, 30 years old female, was raised by an obese mother who, like the rest of obese people, swears she's fine and can do whatever regular people can do. Okay, so the first thing that I have a problem with that's frustrating is that it's like putting everyone as all other obese people. My mom, who like the rest of obese people, blah, blah, blah. Like putting such a large group of people in one category saying they're all like this, like personally, you'll never be right to me because not everyone thinks the same way as your mom does. Like, I don't know exactly what happened with this person's mom. Obviously, it probably wasn't great, but like just to put everyone in a category is like, personally to me, you'll never be right? Like there's too much variation. Okay, sorry. My mother was the laziest person I have ever met. I spent my childhood doing nothing but watching television, sitting at my window idolizing kids, walking outside with their parents, fantasizing about being able to go to an amusement park and ride the rides with my mother. Now that sucks. Like that really does suck. And that's one of the things that, like, I've talked about it before. And like, obviously I'm someone that doesn't have any kids, but like, man, if I do have kids or when I do have kids, I'm really glad that I will be able to have those experiences with them regardless. Like my size won't be a problem, right? Like, and I know that there's a lot of people, that can relate to this because a lot of people start losing weight because they find out they're pregnant or they find out they're going to have a kid. They find out their wife's pregnant or whatever, right? Like it's a wake up call for a lot of people. So I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that, but it doesn't mean that, I don't know. Okay, we'll keep going. I'm an only child and praying we didn't have to be seen in public together, bullying at school due to her size. My house was always a mess. My mother always left the chores for my 80-year-old grandmother who was disabled to do. So again, like that really sucks, but that's not just because your mother was like obese or she was fat, right? That seems like your mother was kind of lazy, which isn't cool. But again, just because someone is obese and also is lazy, that does not equal they are lazy because they are obese. Like I know many people that are bigger that aren't super lazy. They just aren't eating the correct amount of food, right? And that's why they are obese. I don't know. It's such a basic trope here that I don't know. Okay. Because laziness sees no logic. I was always so embarrassed of her, not because of her size, but her lifestyle. I was afraid friends would come over and see that she lays in bed all day and even eats there. That she calls me to do literally everything. Anyways, I now feel absolutely no sympathy for the obese. Every single obese person I've met has had these personality traits, and it makes me sick. I literally feel no remorse for obese parents who dang well know they can't give their kids any type of normal life. To this day, I hate to watch my mother eat, and I hate the constant lies my mother tells herself. I work out, I don't eat that much, lies, all lies. Like a junkie. Anyway, I had to get that off my chest. So, we'll go into the edits as well. I'm not going to go into the comments of this post, but it's very clear that this person has had a very bad experience with their mom who happened to be obese, which really sucks. But, like, this is the problem when you start correlating, like, where when you start saying, like, because you're obese, you are exactly like my mother. Like, come on. That's ridiculous, right? Like, there are literally, I'm not saying it's a good thing because it's definitely not, but there are literally millions of obese people in America alone. And I promise you, many, many, many of them are not just like your mother. Are many of them like your mother? Sure. I'm sure that's true. But just to say, like, everyone is just like this. You know who I think wrote this? Nicole Arbor, I think, was the actual author of this post. I'm pretty sure. to be completely serious. So Nicole, we found your account. We know it was you. Okay, but in all seriousness, let's continue. So then there's a bunch of edits. So we're gonna read through the edits. Okay. Edit. A lot of you are thinking I grew up with my 600-pound life type of mother. Okay. I mean, yeah, people think that because the way that you explained it, it seemed like she literally never got up off of the couch, but okay. My mother is a nurse in a retirement home, has been for over 30 years. All of her coworkers are also obese. She left the house every day, like most Americans. Believe it or not, you can still be a non-functioning person even when you have a career. I do not hate obese people. Okay. You don't hate obese people, but like, okay. I do not stare you down in the grocery stores in deep disdain. If anything, I'm so triggered by my upbringing. At least you bring that up because it seems like you definitely are. I choose to completely block you out to save myself from invasive thoughts. Like, if you have kids, I can save, or if I need to help with something or some other BS I need therapy for. Jeez. Second edit. To the few people who commented their likewise experiences, thank you. People will never understand being forced to live the way we did. The society enables this behavior that scars so many of us. So this part right here, like, this really sucks. Like, full stop. I don't wish that on anyone. And it really does suck that they were brought up like this. Like, that really does suck. That's really sad. Truly. And I don't mean that in any sort of way that is like patronizing or anything like that. Like, I truly mean that. Like, that's not a position I would want anyone to be in. And that's why I think a lot of people, like I said earlier, when they find out when they find out that they're pregnant or they're going to have kids or whatever, it's a big trigger for people to want to lose weight. And like, I am not at all like pro obesity by any means, but I am also very much so against crap like this because this isn't helpful at all. Like, it is so the opposite of being helpful. It's ridiculous, right? Okay. Edit. If I said my mother was an alcoholic and I chose to steer clear of alcoholics, it would be expected, most likely revered, right? The hypocrisy of it all. But again, like, it's to compare being obese to being an alcoholic, I think it's not fair. I don't like when people make that comparison, because like food and the mindset around food is so different than alcohol. I don't know. I hate when people make that comparison. If I said, so the next edit, So the next edit, this post has become an echo chamber and please stop telling me your stories of how you got fat. I really genuinely don't give a crap. And then the last edit, within the last 24 hours, have had obese people from all around the world risk rape and mutilation by rusty blades on me. I've been told to cut my wrists, etc., etc. Y'all truly are the scum of the earth, smelly, slow, undisciplined, undesirable. Like, jeez, man. I'm not intolerant. Y'all are just truly the worst. Anyone who says they haven't had a vile encounter with some obese, sad excuse for a human is a liar. Y'all linger in every hospital, every Walmart, waiting to be discriminated against. So this is the stuff that's like, I don't understand how someone can be like, I'm not hateful, blah, blah, blah. And then literally the next sentence is something like that. Like it makes no sense to me. And again, I guarantee that there are people that would read this and be like, no, like that's tough love. Like you just gotta, like, come on, dude. Like this is hateful right here. Like this is hateful. And like it's not helpful. So there is also this other post where this was on Lose It, and it was like someone kind of sharing their thoughts on that post, like someone that was like, you know, kind of hurt by it. And I do realize before I upload this video, I'm definitely going to put like a trigger warning before this video. I should have done it before this. I apologize. I didn't read the bottom of it and how hateful it got. So I do apologize about that, but we'll have that before the video goes live. Okay, so this is the post that says Reddit, and most people do not understand how insanely difficult it is to fight obesity. And then they link the post, and it says, original post, it says, I feel absolutely no sympathy for the obese. Every single obese person I've met has had these personality traits, and it makes me sick. And then they go on to say, I hate posts like this. Having lost 60 pounds myself, these people have no clue how hard it is to return from obesity. Most of the Redditors upvoting and echoing the sentiment will never do something so difficult in their entire lives as losing large amounts of weight. Never. Once in their entirety of their lives will they be asked to muster the sheer willpower required to rid oneself of obesity. They have never been brought down to such lows and had to claw their way up out of the nightmarish abyss all by themselves. Now, I really like that, the way that this is said, because one thing that I've said many times, like the hardest thing that I've ever done in my life was losing weight. Like full stop, easily the hardest thing I have ever done. And so like that's why I am such a proponent of like learning how to lose weight, losing it, and keeping that weight off, because I understand that it's not easy. Like I understand that it's really difficult, but that doesn't mean that it's impossible. But posts like the original post, like they're not helping anyone. I don't care what anyone has to tell themselves to be like, oh, this is actually helping. It's not helpful. I just dropped something. Okay. And yet they have the gall to say that obese people are just lesser human beings all around. They have the inhumanity to kick people while they are down. Well, this is like really, I don't want to compare it to like, you know, like racial stuff, but like, dude, this is very scary language. The language that was used in that post is very scary language. And if someone was saying that about someone based on their sex or their ethnicity, like that would be not okay, right? Oh man, it just gives me the heebie-jeebies. Okay. Did I hate being obese? With a passion. Yeah, I can agree with that. But I would never look down upon obese people. Having been there for my whole life, I understand what a horrific nightmare of a half-life. Wow, that's really good. It truly is. I feel nothing but sympathy. I want to say I agree with that, but I don't even want to say like I feel sympathy, because I think people can live pretty like full lives being larger, but I definitely feel sympathy for those of you guys that are like wanting to lose weight, and like you're really working on it, and it's something that you want to do, right? Like I don't like look at, like people ask me this all the time, like if I if I see a big person in like the grocery store or whatever, like, do I feel bad for them or do I judge them? Like, I don't even really think about it much, unless they're like, you know, they're really, really big and like movement for them is like really hard. I feel bad. But for the most part, like if it's just like a, you know, an overweight person, I don't even think anything of it, right? Like I don't think, oh wow, like they're lazy or, oh, I feel so bad for them. It's like, they're just a person. I don't know. That's probably not the best way to explain that, but, okay. The sentiment around obesity needs to be changed. Obesity is not a reflection of a person, but rather just how much in need of help the person is. Again, I kind of agree with that, but I think like in some aspect, I would say it's a mixture of both. And I think that to completely take it off of the individual is doing a disservice, right? But we need to understand that like just because you are putting some of the, you know, I don't want to say blame, but you should take some of the responsibility as a person that is overweight, correct? Like, I think that most people would not disagree with that. But at the same time, we should, while we're putting some of that, like responsibility on the person, we should also understand that socioeconomic issues, there's tons of other things that go into why someone might be bigger, right? And so I just don't know why it has to be all or nothing. It's like either it's all the person's fault and they're fat and lazy and disgusting and nasty and this, or it's not the person's fault at all and to blame them for in any capacity as fat phobic or blah, blah, blah. It's like, why does it always have to be these two extremes? Why can't we just like find a middle of the road? Like, yeah, some of it is on you. You're making bad decisions. Maybe you don't know the better decisions to make, but also there's other things that are going on in your life that are contributing to this. Like, why can't we be there, right? I don't know. It's just, it seems like it's always one or the other, which I just don't think is necessary. Okay. So I want to read some of these edits. So those of you from all telling us that fighting obesity/addiction isn't one of the most difficult challenges one can ever experience and that people should just eat less, LOL. Thank you for single-handedly solving the obesity and addiction crisis. Consider nominating yourself for a Nobel Peace Prize for your brilliance. It seems that the point was not clear. Most Redditors judge people for being obese, but what have most Redditors had to deal with in their life that's as difficult as fighting addiction? Nothing. Statistically speaking, the average Redditor will never have to fight a battle that difficult. Hence, it's idiotic for them to judge obese people. They themselves do not understand what addiction is like and how difficult it is to escape. So for me, again, it's about like finding the happy medium. I think that like there are probably a lot of people that like, I wouldn't be surprised if there are a lot of people that are bigger that are like echoing this sentiment, because I think sadly, like self-hatred is very prevalent in the obese and overweight, you know, population. But I think that like saying that like losing weight is really, really hard. But I don't know. I don't like to be like, it's the hardest thing ever in the whole entire, it's the hardest thing I've ever done. But I don't want to be like, it's harder than like, there's a lot of things that are harder than dealing with being overweight. For me personally, it's the hardest thing I've ever done. But there's a lot of other things that are pretty freaking difficult to deal with in your life. So I don't know. I don't like going overboard too much. But I will say that the original post is disgusting and really, really just really sad that there are a lot of people that think that, and there really are. And this is why like Health at Every Size, this is why these movements have gained so much steam, because it is, I've talked about it a million times, right? It's the pendulum. So the pendulum here, fat people are disgusting, nasty, I hate them. They're like, I want to end all of them is what it seems like. And so the pendulum has swung, right, to Health at Every Size, like all of this other stuff that, you know, you guys know that I disagree with. And so for me, I'm always trying to find the middle. And it seems like there's less and less people there. But yeah, that was just something that I kind of wanted to share with you guys. I am genuinely curious what you guys think. I would love to know in the comments down below. Yeah, if you want to let me know, that would be awesome.